Hi sir, thank you for talking to us. Can you just give me your small introduction?
I am Rituraj Sapkota, and I am not from Kathmandu, but my hometown is 500 kilometers far from Kathmandu, and it is nearby Indian border, and it's Viratnagar.
Viratnagar, okay.
Yeah, and now I'm working in a school, in a school business, and currently I am president of school organization.
Okay. Sir, how do Nepalis feel about what is going on with regard to CAA in India?
Just to see the consequences, it has been brought to the public about this provision from the Indian government. In different states, we find that there are some agitations against it. And when a state does something, obviously in favor or in against, there comes logics, there comes arguments. And when I look at the arguments from both sides, then I feel that they're staying outside, but they don't have any particular identity. And if the identity is given by Indian government, it should be there. It should be there because it is because people has become global citizen now. So we cannot bar that you are from this country or this country. If you have problem in one country, then obviously one can give this a shelter to other country. If one country is able to give the shelter with good identity, then I don't think there is a harm. So I support this movement.
Yeah. Sir, should Indian political parties be allowed to voice their concern in Nepal?
Well, see, being a neighbors, being a very close neighbors, they can, but they cannot impose. Yeah, as a friend, they can suggest what is best for Nepal. Yes, because you see, even in our neighbors, sometimes we make some arguments, we make some suggestions to our neighbors. But ultimately, right is of that neighbors, not ours. Yeah. So Indian politicians, they have to give the suggestions, but it should not come as imposition or it should not be like you are imposed by someone else.
Yeah. Sir, India has a large Gorkha regiment, yes. Proud of them in Indian army. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, actually, being a hardcore nationalist, I should not support that. Because selling, and not only in India, selling our Nepalese youth out of Nepal, out of the box, I cannot support it. But culturally and traditionally, the Nepalese youths are serving for years, then that is reality. What hardcore belief I have, that is different thing. And what present scenario is, that is different thing. But anyway, the GR, in different GR, Gorkha Rifles, they are serving India. And Indians also, they are respecting Indian, Gorkha Rifles, then it is good.
Yeah. Sir, there are close to 10 million Nepalis in India, come all who are trying to make success of themselves. Is India the new economy for Nepal now?
Yes, of course. Because we should not be concerned only with those who has Nepalese citizenship. Nepalese, you see, Nepalese citizenship is one thing, and Nepalese by caste or by tradition is different thing. So many, more than 10 million, I suppose. This is raw data you are just presenting. More than, what I believe is, if you actually look at the census, then almost equivalent to our population, the population size is there who speak in Nepali. Nepali speaking, people, there is it's near about 30 million I have heard so far.
Sir, India recently has been getting a bad publicity in the Nepali media. Can you tell us why this is so?
Sometimes it happens, the biggest enemies are the brothers, भाई भाई में जो होता है ये सबसे भाई भाई में जब तक ठीक रहेगा everything is fine, but when there is some problem in brothers, then they are the biggest enemies. It's like that, but from heart it's not like that. Okay, we are just speaking superficially that okay, Yeah, because we are very close to each other, so everything we know about them, everything they know about us. The problem is there. Besides, I don't see any serious problem.
Yeah. So recently Nepal has had some border concern with regards to China.
Right.
China has border concern with every one of its neighbor. What do Nepalis feel with regard of this?
You see, when we have to tackle the border issues, then not only bilateral, but multinational or multilateral, some proposition should be there. Otherwise, we cannot resolve it. Because when there is conflict in border between two countries, only two countries may not resolve the situation. So maybe we have to internationalize it, and so that we can take the help from UN agencies or so far. So otherwise, we cannot always fight with Chinese, or we cannot always fight with Indians about our borders. So what our borders should be, that should be treated very wisely. This all comes under diplomacy. You see, if someone asks you to go to hell, then you should enjoy the trip. What is diplomacy?
Yeah. Sir, China is noted to have a huge propaganda machine. Do you think that Nepalis can sometimes be exposed to the Chinese propaganda against India?
I don't think such, because normally, you see, those who are very far, we think it good. You see, Chinese people, they are far from, China is far from Nepal, and India is very close by. So everything about India we know, but everything about China we don't know. So you see, Durga Dhol Suhavna, you see, when from China it sounds very well, very good, but from India it is noisy. So it's only the relation it matters, but I don't think such thing happen.
Ji. What is the future of Hindu organizations in Nepal, sir?
You see, in my opinion, Hindu, there is no, because Hindu is not only religion, it's culture. When you take it as a culture, then no one can deny the fact that every Nepali is Hindu. Even maybe they are Christians by religion, but culturally they are Hindus. I take it like that. So, Hindu organizations, they have to separate themselves from, I don't know, as far as I have heard, sometimes Hindu religion is mixed up with monarchy. Monarchy is different and Hinduism is different. So they have to clearly, streamline between monarchy and Hindu. Just advocacy for Hindus and advocacy for monarchy should be different.
Yeah.
So when it is intermingled, then people get confused.
Yes.
Because people are not in a position to accept monarchy, but people are always in favor of Hindus. So that should be clearly, you understand what I mean? It has to be clearly streamlined between two, monarchy and Hindus.
Yeah. Sir, RSS has a huge presence in Nepal. And what is the one of the first responder, during the earthquake? Tell us a little bit about RSS and, Hindu Mahasabha future in Nepal.
See, when RSS, you see in Indian politics and present Indian government, the backbone is RSS, yes. Because without the strong support team in the ground, you are not successful. So similar type of RSS movement can be there, but politically they are not accepted in Nepal. So how they intervene positively? I should not say intervene negatively, but positively they have to intervene. Like during the earthquake, they worked hard. So socially they were, their response was very good to the society, Nepali society. So they should have the very positive outlook towards Nepali politics, so that Nepali politicians or say Nepali political arena will accept those all things, and then everything goes normally.
Yeah. Sir, what about the massive threat and influx of Christian missionaries into Nepal?
You see, this is people, I just asked you to take our Nepalese people culturally Hindus. And those Christians, they are made. Okay, they are not born Hindus.
Yeah.
Sorry, born Christians. They are made Christians. So I don't, because respecting each other's religion, you should not respect those who are born new. So I have a strong reservation. Yes, if you have faith, yeah, I too, being Hindu, I also respect Jesus. It doesn't mean that I have to hate Jesus, or I have to hate Jesus Christ and other, say Allah. This is the respecting each other, you can add value in society. So I take it very alarming and threatening the way they are intervening in Nepalese culture, Nepalese value system. So this is very threatening.
Yeah.
Because we are working in a school, you see, when born Christian American comes as a volunteer, then he easily accepts the Hindu rituals. Okay, he takes garlands,
Yeah.
he takes tika, he has no problem. But those born Christians and children, they just deny, okay, no, I am Christian, I cannot accept this tika, I cannot accept this garland. What is this? The garland and tika is our culture, not religion. So you cannot respect religion, that is different thing, but you cannot hate culture, because culture, it is a bone marrow of every human being, every individuals.
Yeah.
I should say that.
Yeah. How do you Nepali feel about Gadimai slaughter festival, sir?
You see, this has been a tradition, and you see, you slaughter. You are just talking about Gadimai festival. It comes once in 5 years. Yes, there are open slaughterhouse in nearby every street. Yes, slaughter is not only in that temple. Outside also there are slaughters. When you walk in the street of Kathmandu, you can see that goat is sacrificed and buffalo is sacrificed. So slaughter, whether it is good or not, we have to make the movement of vegetarian movement. You have to, because if you can urge to be vegetarian, obviously that slaughter stops, and it converts to coconut.
Yeah.
Okay, you see. So the main thing is that whether slaughter is there or not, it's not the big problem. But even then, in temple, this is the place where all type of people they worship. And inside a temple, if such type of sacrifice is there, it is inhuman.
Yeah.
So it should not be.
Yeah.
It should not be.
Sir, are Nepalis aware of the growth of madrasas on Nepali border? Is this a security threat for Nepal in future?
It's the same story. What about missionary, Christian missionary? It's the same story. Yeah, actually madrasa is meant for educating Islamist girls, especially. Yeah, we know that Islamist girls, they are deprived from primary education. So it is, but are they doing what madrasa has to do? So we have many issues that is coming in surface level about the madrasa's activities. So I cannot say with facts and figures, but there are some problems.
Yeah.
So madrasas should stick their activities to educating people, educating girls. Otherwise, it should not be done.
Yeah. Sir, what do Nepalis feel about the unrest in the Tarai region?
No, sometimes it happens. Tarai region actually people are not divided, but the politicians, for their interest, they divide people like Tarai and Pahad and mountain. But because I belong to Tarai, but being a native from Viratnagar, I never have felt that I am Madhesi or Pahadi. I never have felt that. So in people level, there is no such discrimination. But politicians, they make the borderline that, okay, you are Madhesis and you are Pahadis and you are Himalis. It should not be done. So we have to forget about political games. So we have to bring forth our harmony, which has been here for many years. So now the politicians, they have got tired of working in these issues.
Sir, after Madhesis withdrawing support to government, what is the future of India-friendly groups there?
You see, actually, there is some problem in government also. In making constitution also, there were some reservation from Madhesi people. And frequently politicians, they just they promised to bring some changes in constitution. And why did they promise? If they cannot do anything, if they don't have to do anything, then why they are making promises? So that if they have made promise and if they think it is right, then it has to be done. So in constitution, some amendments should be there to, because you cannot imagine Nepal without Tarai. You see, without that, because Tarai is also identity of Nepal. You should not forget that Nepal is valley of Himalayas and mountains. So you should not forget that Tarai is also your identity. So when politicians speaks in different way, then problem comes. Otherwise, they say is quite so. In constitution, what they have reservation, that has to be resolved and that has to be addressed.
Yeah. So my last question is how Modi's presence in Indian PM has influenced Nepal.
You see, in first visit of Nepal, Modi in Nepal, he was respected, he was admired, and he was welcome after all. And everyone had a great expectation from Modi ji. But in then, unfortunately, something happened. And actually, being a Nepali citizen, I don't understand why that took place and why it was resolved. Because why it was imposed, I don't know. Neither politicians made me clear, and why it was withdrawn. So I am not clear. And due to that, you see the event that should not have taken place. So the position of Modi, the impression of Modi declined to some level. But even then, every Nepali feels that Modi is good for India. And when Modi does good for India, when Modi is good for India, then only Modi can do good for Nepal. You cannot expect that he will harm India and he will benefit you, Nepalese people. Because after all, he is Indian, he is an Indian supremo, so he has to take care of Indian concern. Sometimes we become very emotional. When we talk about political games in this all, we don't use our brain, rather we use our heart, and we become emotional and say that no, Modi should not say think like that, should not say like that. But we have to think that he is Indian Prime Minister, and first he has to take care of his boundary, his territories. Then only he can think about Nepal. So that limitations we have to understand.
Yeah. Thank you. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.